Hello besties, what is up and welcome back to another confessions video. Y'all have really been doing your big one. I have over 500 confessions, so let's get into some of the messiest ones that I picked out for today.
I'm gonna preemptively apologize because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Peace and love, you know?
So this one starts off crazy right off the bat. It says, "Catfish by my piano teacher."
Oh, Lord.
At this church I used to go to, already red flag, piano teacher church. I had a crush on the piano guy who was 21 and I was 15, but we were friends since I was 12. Now, I just want to preface, when I picked this one, I just went off of the first couple words, "catfish by my piano teacher," said, yup, it's in. Now it sounds like grooming, but let's get into the rest of it. One day, he asked for my snap for a friend, which that was a red flag already, but I gave it anyway. Well, one day, I was talking to the friend, and he confessed that he was the piano guy.
Shut up.
And I was embarrassed because we had been talking for about a month, and there were explicit messages. So this man groomed you and solicited child off of you.
Disgusting!
All right. You shouldn't be embarrassed. You didn't do anything wrong. You were 15. This man was 21. And to make it even worse, which how could it get worse, right? The piano guy was married, by the way. He also confessed how he was in love with me, a 15-year-old, and he had a baby on the way.
They're going to prison.
And being dumb, I believed him. And we hooked up many times under the church in the basement while being married and having a baby on the way. You're not dumb. You were a child. You're acting as children do. This continued for almost a year. We would watch each other secretly, and he would even come to my parents' home when they were at work and we would hook up. Oh my God. I will admit that I was in the wrong. You were a child, babe. You were a child. I want to reiterate this so clearly. The onus was not on you, the child. It was on the grown man who groomed you for this moment so he could have an affair. He preyed on you. But at the same time, I was young and naive. You were a child. But it is still not an excuse for what you did. There's no excuse for what you did because you didn't do anything wrong. You were a child. He was the adult. I couldn't keep the secret anymore and told my parents the truth. Good that you told your parents the truth, but this part is fucked up on your parents' behalf. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. My parents didn't press any charges because they didn't want the church to fall apart. Who gives a fuck if the church falls apart? I am a very strong believer that things that have a rocky foundation, a shitty foundation, a bad foundation should definitely fall apart.
I said what I said!
If the worship leader, the piano guy, comes out as being a and the church falls apart, then that church should fall apart. I'm sure Jesus would be up there flipping tables, burning that bitch to the ground, because what are you talking about? And this man is still free with 2 kids, and I don't know if his wife knows. I am now 18 and I regret it all. What do you think? Babes, I think that you were a victim. Okay. I'm gonna say this. This person also wanted advice, so I'm about to give it. You were the victim. You were groomed, you were preyed upon. You did not do anything wrong. The onus is not on you. Because I grew up in the church, I understand why you would think that it's on you. As women, particularly in the church, we're taught that it's our job to control our sexuality, and men sometimes have no control, and that onus is on us. And that's couldn't be further from the truth, but it also couldn't be further from the truth in your situation because you were literally 15 years old. He was 21. You were a child. You didn't do anything wrong. And it's fucked up that your parents didn't protect you and they wanted to protect their reputation and protect the church over you. That is not okay by any means. And I do absolutely recommend getting into therapy or seeking some kind of counseling if you can, if that's accessible for you, because you were groomed. And when asked, is there anything else you'd like to say? I go to a different church now. I have seen him in stores and stuff and feel embarrassed every time, but I'm in a happy relationship now. I'm so happy that you are in a happy relationship. There's nothing for you to feel embarrassed about because you did nothing wrong. I'm just going to keep saying that you did nothing wrong. And there's a lot of conditioning that you're going to have to undo to really believe that and feel that, but you did not do a single thing wrong. That man is nasty. I worry about the fact that he is still in a position where he can do this to other girls, and he got away with it once, so it's likely that he'll keep doing it. It's also concerning that he has kids, if I'm being completely honest. But again, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry that this happened to you. I hope that you'll be able to find the healing that you so deserve, and you'll be able to be properly supported as you continue to heal from this terrible experience. That man needs to be held accountable. Oh my God. You did not do anything wrong. I cannot say that anymore. You did not do absolutely anything wrong. Okay, so the next confession. Also, besties, let me know if you think the sound is better when I hold the mic or when it's just clipped on. I found that in a couple of my last videos, to me at least, it sounded a little bit muffled. So I just thought that this would make it a little bit more clear. But if it's too much, then just let me know. But next confession.
Thank God.
Every 2 weeks on a Thursday, I go to my local cinema, and right next to it there's a bar, and I don't know if they go every day or if they just hang out on the same day that I go to the cinema. But this group of drunk women aged 40 to 50 will look at me and say things about my jeans or my hair or my anything. At first I thought they were talking about someone else, but it's not. Now whenever I walk past, they go, "There's our little friend and her big jeans." What do I do? They're really mean, but the cinema is the best deal and I get the bus free on that day because my dad's off work and lets me use his bus pass. Would you like any advice regarding the situation? Yes, fuck those old haggard bitches, okay?
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
I said what I said. To me, it's crazy to go out of your way to make fun of the way that anybody looks out loud unless they've done something horrendous like I do sometimes in my videos. But this is a different situation. I know it's hard, but you're just going to have to ignore them or you're going to have to clap back at them and read them down. Because why are they drunk on a Thursday talking shit about somebody who's just going to the movies? Obviously, their lives are miserable. And if going to the movies every Thursday, it sounds like this is a part of your routine that you really look forward to, do it. Continue doing it. Do not let the opinions of others stop you from doing what you love to do as long as you're not harming anybody. You're not harming anybody by going to the movies. But to be out there doing such a horrendous thing, they're miserable. Their lives are miserable. Keep going and doing what you love. It can be uncomfortable. If it helps, put some headphones on while you pass them so you don't hear what they say, or you clap back, you read them down, or you just do nothing at all. You give them no energy, no attention, and you hold your head up high and you walk by like they don't exist because they shouldn't exist to you.
Period! Period! Period!
People are disgusting. And is there anything else you'd like to say? I love your videos. Bring back Sister Wives. I was ready to binge watch them. You know what? I stopped doing Sister Wives because people just weren't watching them really. They weren't really interacting like my other videos. And Sister Wives took a lot of freaking time to do just because the way that they put the episodes together is so jumbled. So I have to unjumble it. I take the notes, I put it all together in a way that it makes sense. And then it just takes even longer to get the clips from the episode because it's all out of order. But if there's if you guys really want me to start covering it, I will. I don't know. If that's something you guys really want, then definitely let me know. I love making videos that y'all love to watch. I love talking about Sister Wives. Thank you so much for submitting this confession. I hope that you keep doing what you love because fuck those crusty old bitches. Enjoy your cinema time, bestie. Next confession from a fellow bestie says, when I was 18, my first boyfriend had anger issues. Lord have mercy. I fear this is a canon event because my first boyfriend also had anger issues. Oh my God, men suck. But I asked him to go to therapy and he refused, so I ended things with him. Good. That's what you need to do. Since this was my first relationship, I was naive and thought we could remain friends. No, this is also a canon event. I also tried to be friends with my first ex. Oh my God, that went terribly wrong. We had a great convo in person about a week after I ended things with him. I told him I didn't want to lead him on, so I wouldn't contact him, but I would respond if he were to reach out to me. Okay, so you're setting boundaries. I assumed he would take some time to himself first. Fair assumption. He started texting me almost as often as when we were in a relationship. My ex did this too. Oh, I hope he's not watching this. He probably is, but if he is, hey, stalker. My breaking point was when he asked me on a date. What?
Make it make sense.
I'm confusion. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Yep. My breaking point was when he asked me on a date. All right. I told him I just didn't think we were meant to be together and to get over me, he'd have to distance himself for a while. He got pissed off and blocked me. Sounds like that's what was best for you, so bye-bye. This man goes around telling all our mutuals I'm a hoe and I cheated on him just because I wouldn't take him back. I lost multiple friendships. These are not your friends then. Fast forward about a month later, I was back on dating apps, as you should. Oh my God. Messy, his childhood best friend liked me on Bumble.
Oh!
I messaged him, do you remember me? Because I thought there was no way this was happening. He must have liked on accident. He responded back basically asking me to be friends with benefits. I screenshotted it and sent it to my best friend because what the fuck? I can't believe he'd do his friend like that. I can believe it. Men are messy. Men like to act like women are messy. Men are messier, and they often covet what they cannot have. So, but shortly after this, another one of his friends, this time a guy he was friends with and worked with, liked me as well.
Again?
I asked the same question because no way it's happening again. He says, yeah, I always thought that you were hella pretty and I was waiting for you and your ex to break up. Girl, what? Oh my. Okay, I love confessions. I love reading else confessions, and I love when they're written like this. Like, I'm getting all the details. The storytelling is impeccable. I could hear it in my head. 10 out of 10. Then Bestie says, I sent a screenshot of that as well to my best friend because now it's happened twice. Around this time is when I found out he told people I cheated on him, so I texted his best friend, remember, ex had her blocked, asking if this was true. He beat around the bush and finally admitted. Well, he didn't say you cheated. He just said that you experienced things with other people.
I don't know. I don't want to call y'all stupid, but that's what it's giving.
Bestie, what? That's the same thing. Exactly. His best friend must have told him because he unblocked me, not even my phone number, by the way, but on Facebook Messenger, weird ass move, and started messaging me hella rude messages. This just sounds like a man who really got his feelings hurt, and instead of going to therapy, he thought that he would just talk shit about you and that would make him feel better, not realizing that after a breakup, every woman goes through a glow up. Like I don't know. Breakups do something to women where it's like we rise like Phoenix from the ashes, and men just most of the time. Sometimes they glow up too, but most of the time it's But Bestie decided to be petty. I found the screenshots of his two friends in my DMs and sent them his way.
Girl.
Oh my God. I saw his little chat bubble showing. He read them. I said, if I'm such a hoe, why did I have to turn down two of your friends? As soon as he started typing, I blocked him.
That was one thing, ain't that one thing?
I could be petty too, period. Period. Bestie doesn't want any advice, and when asked, is there anything else you'd like to say, she said, and I'd do it again. As you should, friend. As you should. All right, on to the next confession. Freshman year of high school, I had a huge crush on this guy. We got to talking and became really close. Things seemed like we were going to end up together, but I ended up hearing this rumor that he was a major player and was talking to a bunch of other girls and doing them dirty. I would like to know who you heard the rumor from. Though I think it depends who you're hearing this information from. Is it a reliable source? But also it's high school. So it's like, is anybody a reliable source? Rather than bringing it up to him, I dropped/ghosted him. At this point, we told each other that we had feelings. After literally ghosting him for months, I found out that a good 75% of the things I heard about him weren't even true.
Girl, don't piss me off.
I felt so bad, but I never reconciled with him, mainly because I felt extremely guilty for not ever bringing it up to him. It happened like 3 years ago, and we still follow each other on Instagram and heart each other's stories on occasion. Should I ever reach out and apologize or just pretend like it never happened? And they want advice, so I'm gonna give it. Personally, if I were you, I would just reach out, because I think if you don't, then in your mind, it's always going to be like a what if sort of situation. Like, oh, well, what if we did work out? Would we still be together? Blah, 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 all these things. The fact that he still hearts your story shows that there might be a little bit of longing. However, I would reach out with minimal to no expectations whatsoever, because, okay, I'll tell you my own personal story of why I'm saying this. But there was this guy that I was seeing. Things were going well. Things were going great. We were really into each other, talking all the time, going on dates. And it was good, and he would plan all the dates. Really nice guy. I just got the feeling that he wasn't actually as interested as he was saying, because when we would see each other, it would be great, but we were only seeing each other like once a week, twice a week, and I was also seeing other people. In between that, the communication would be very lacking. So he wouldn't be super consistent with texting, never called. In my mind, very much giving the vibe of not interested. So messaged me, he was about to go on vacation for 2 weeks. Already got the vibe that he wasn't interested, but I was also like, okay, he's just preparing for vacation. He was about to go back to his home country. So he comes back and he texts me the day that he lands. And so I text him and I'm like, oh, I'm like so excited to hear about your trip and everything and blah, blah, blah. He takes, again, like 4 or 5 days to answer. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He's just not interested. It just felt like I'm sending you a text because I'm back and I just want to keep you on the back burner a little bit.
That's a choice.
He is giving me the vibe he's not interested. I'm not going to push it anymore. He's taking a long time to answer. So I ghosted him, and A couple weeks after that, I had already not like forgotten about him, but I was just like, okay, he didn't reach out, so he wasn't feeling me. Like, I was right, basically. He messages me this long paragraph like, I liked you so much, I just don't understand what happened. I understand that, you know, I was gone and I was really looking forward to seeing you and telling you, and I got you something for my trip, and just basically like pouring his heart out into the message. So I'm like reading it, and he's like, if you don't answer, then I'll know that you were not interested, but I'm just really heartbroken about how this has gone because I really did like you, and like I was looking forward to building something with you. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this, whatever. So then I message him back. We go on, I want to say 3 dates after that. It was good. We were having the conversations. And again, after the 3rd date, it was that same like slow to respond message. And then eventually he ghosted me.
Really?
So I say all of that to say, go into it with no expectations, because me and this person went on a total of probably 8 dates. I ghosted him in between that. He ended up ghosting me. And that was one of the things that I told him. I was like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to respond or see you again, because I was worried that you were just doing this so you could get your lick back, you know? And he was like, no, I would never do that. And then he ended up doing that, which is fine. I don't care about that now. It's so long ago, which is why I'm telling the story like this. But I say all of that to say, be mindful of a situation after ghosting, because that person may say that they don't have any harsh feelings towards you. They may act like they don't have any harsh feelings towards you, and they do in fact have harsh feelings towards you, and they may just be trying to get their lick back. But this may be a different situation. So I say, no matter how it's going to end up, go for it, see what happens, and have no expectations, bestie. And also in the future, just be more mindful of who you're believing the information from, who you're receiving it from, because not everybody is reliable, and some people aren't going to tell you things for your greatest good. They're going to tell it because they want you to be just as miserable as they are. But when asked, is there anything else you'd like to say? They said, I love your videos, by the way. Thank you, bestie. I hope you like this one too. Next confession says, on one 4th of July, I lit a firework off just to celebrate, and I thought I was far enough from everything. Okay. After it went off, the next day, I realized that there were 4 cars that were totally burnt and roasted. Insurance, I assume, took care of it for them, because weeks later they appeared all better, but I have never ever been talked to about this or told anyone. One of the people did post on Nextdoor that people are shooting cars with fireworks, but I genuinely had no intention to do anything of the sorts. Am I mad at myself? Yeah. Do I feel like a pure accident should make me a bad person? I don't know. You tell me. And when asked, would you like any advice on the situation? They said yes. So I'm going to say,
Be nice. I'm finding it.
what type of firework was it? Okay. And why were you setting it off close enough to cars? Like, I'm not sure exactly what happened here. I don't really know what the vibes are, but I just know anytime I've been with anybody who set off fireworks, because I would never do that myself, but we've always done it in a field, like a wide open field where there's nothing really around that could get damaged, and it's never like crazy big fireworks. So if something did get damaged, the potential is like very, very low. Like, it's not going to cause a lot of damage. I don't think an accident would make you feel like a bad person. I understand feeling mad at yourself because you burnt down these people's cars. But I feel like I got fixed. So I don't want to say no harm, no foul, but it's kind of like a wash. Like, the cars got fixed. It's not like the police came looking for you or anything like that. I don't think that going and confessing to this is going to do anything for you. Like, going and confessing to the people, confessing to me, perfectly fine. A-okay, because this stays between you and I. But yeah, I don't know. When asked, is there anything else you'd like to say? I love your channel so much. Thank you. And it truly brings so much laughter in my life watching your vids. Thank you so much. Let's get into the next confession. My brother used to steal my shit all the time and was never made to replace it / apologize. I was the older sister in an Italian Catholic family, for context. Older sisters always have to put up with everybody else's shit. If I ever tried to hold him accountable, he'd lose his shit. So I was expected to just put my head down and deal with it. So whenever he'd act up, I'd dip his toothbrush in the toilet.
Oh yeah.
If my parents weren't going to punish him, I was. He may not have known it, but it made me feel better at the time. Would you like any advice regarding the situation? They said no. No advice needed. You did the right thing. Is there anything else you'd like to say? They said, not really sorry looking back on it. He's a Terrible person, but I just feel bad for him more than anything. And at least back then, his toilet mouth matched what came out of it. Period. No notes. All right, on to the next. So I was in this relationship that I can now see that it was toxic. But one night I was out with my friends, only girls. I couldn't have male friends.
Wow.
And my boyfriend at the time called me in the middle of the night begging for my help to go and get him because he was caught by the police. Caught doing what? What? Oh my God, girlfriend. She said stupidly, I went to go get him, and guess who was the one who spent a night in jail? That was me.
The hell you mean, man?
So apparently, he was caught stealing diesel from buses, and he, being very smart, left his car at the scene. And the police saw he had stickers on his window, the same ones I had. So before I was able to get him to go home, I was caught and I didn't even know why. So until 2027, I have a criminal record because of a dumb guy.
No way.
Ladies, if they call you asking for help to go against the law, just know it's never worth it. Yeah, I would agree with that. Completely not worth it. Also, stop dating waste men. Hello? When asked if you'd like advice regarding the situation, they said yes. I don't really have advice for you, honestly. Just don't date men like this. And I hope you are able to get that off your record as soon as you can. And when asked, is there anything else you'd like to say? I love your videos. Thank you, bestie. And I hope you have a laugh with this story. Also, sorry if there's some grammar mistakes. English is my second language. No grammar mistakes. The story was perfect. Thank you for sharing. All right, this story time, I'm not on the bestie's side. But let's get into it. I've been sleeping with a married man.
Side eye.
I feel terrible because his wife knows he's a 304 and it completely goes against my morals. I'm having a hard time letting him go because that Gok 3000 is like no other, but the guilt and karma is eating me alive more than him. Okay, I feel like I'm a little bit confused by this one. Does his wife know he's a 304 or does his wife not know that he's a 304? Because if she knows, then I don't think this is technically cheating. But I don't know. They want advice and they said there's nothing else that they want to say.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
If you're knowingly the side chick and you say the karma and the guilt is eating you alive, get out of whatever you're doing.
Girl.
Life can be so peaceful when you don't put yourself in unnecessary hardships, and this would be an unnecessary hardship. And I also feel like what you do to others will come back to you. So if I were you, I would stop doing this immediately. That's it. That's all. No other notes. All right, besties, this is a wild one. This is a crazy one. It's a long one. So get strapped in, get your snacks, get comfy. When the pandemic started in 2020, I was super depressed, struggling with school and just getting by, working part-time in fast food. I'm so sorry to hear that you were struggling and just very depressed. I know the pandemic lockdown was a hard time for most people, but it was especially harsher on others. My roommates moved home suddenly when classes went online and I dropped out. My only connection then were my sibling and their toxic ex and my coworkers. I had gotten really close with the assistant manager where I worked because I trained him when he first started and we worked together a lot. He was married with 2 kids under 4, and as time went on, he divulged how toxic his relationship was to me and some other coworkers. He claimed she made him move 7 times in 5 years, baby trapped him with their second kid, and that their relationship was dead, but she refused counseling. I had even seen some messages to back this up. Seems very weird to me to be showing your coworkers all of this and saying all of this if you are not doing anything about it. Like just ranting and complaining about your significant other to your coworkers seems like a messy situation. But we move. In addition, she came from a very wealthy but very trashy family. So she was a stay-at-home mom, but their apartment was dirty and basically hoarded. I was a party girl when we met, and though I personally was never unfaithful to anyone, I never chose to have serious relationships because I didn't feel ready. A smart and wise decision, I think. Well, oh my God.
What's all this bullshit and shenanigans? What's all these shenanigans?
It became apparent that there was something between me and this manager quickly once the rumor mill at work started churning and people were saying that we were hooking up when we weren't. We dispelled those rumors, had a little laugh about it, and then had a weird, tense moment of realization that our relationship was teetering into being more than just friends. We started hooking up, and 2 months later, he left his wife. My God. This caused his wife to take off with the kids to her hometown without his knowledge and has sparked this whole mess of custody and divorce issues and drama. She has no proof he cheated,
Baby, the problem is in the mirror.
but claims he was abusive to her and her kids. I don't really believe that, and I think that she's just getting back at him, which is maybe deserved. I do believe him wholeheartedly because his ex did this to her first husband, and he's never even shown anger towards me or my dog. Just because someone doesn't abuse you doesn't mean that they didn't abuse other people. However, oh my God, this is pissing me off. However, the poor man can't afford to fight for his kids, so he's just sad all the time. My underdeveloped brain chose to date a married man at 19-20. I understand it's underdeveloped, but you're still an adult at this point. I've tried to leave so he can just be single and move closer to his kids, but he refuses. I've even tried to move us both closer to the kids, even though they just move further away. I've always heard that how you get him is how you lose him, so I feel like this relationship is just doomed. Yes. I agree with you. I do genuinely feel connected to him in a way I didn't think I could with anyone, but I just feel like it's not a realistic relationship.
Side eye. Side eye.
He's been nothing but good to me, but now I'm back in school and entering my career field and he's still kind of being a bum. This person wants advice. First advice, run. Run as far away as you can from this deadbeat. I feel like the first red flag for me in all of this is he only talks about how horrible she was. He never talked about anything he did. That to me is a red flag because most people in relationships and marriages, if they don't work, they're usually able to talk about the things that their partner did and the things that they did to contribute to the downfall of this relationship. Me personally, I'm inclined to believe that you are not the first person who he cheated with. However, you were just the one who he knew that he could then leech off of you once he left the relationship because he didn't have the financial support and backing of his wife, who you said comes from a wealthy family. I understand that people do lie about things like abuse, and I don't know, obviously, what the truth is in this situation, but I will just reiterate my earlier claim. Just because he's been good to you and your dog doesn't mean that he was good to her and their kids, right? So just keep that in mind. The fact that you are willing to put in all this work for him to have a relationship with his kids and he's not willing to do that, red flag. Something else is going on here. It kind of sounds like he was just pushing his ex-wife to leave him so that it would be easier on him so he could paint himself as the, oh my God, I can't believe she did this to me, instead of taking accountability for the role that he played in all of this. My advice, run. I don't care how good he's been to you, run. And when asked, is there anything else you'd like to say? That box was empty. So my final advice is to run as fast as you can, as far away as you can. Get away from this man and live your life to the fullest. This man is only going to drag you down. Oh my God. On to the next. I had these two college roommates who were so nasty, like would never clean up after themselves and would leave food all over the counters and stove, and I was tired of it. My other roommate and I had asked them to clean up so many times and they kept saying it was us. The gaslighting goes crazy. Who was making the mess? The mess was always like chunks of meat all over. Ew. And I don't even eat meat, and my roommate was really clean and DoorDashed most of the time. So I was getting sick of them. So I grabbed their toothbrushes and I put those bristles right up in my armpits. No deodorant addition. I let them marinate for a good 5 seconds and even did some Flappy Bird motions so every spot was touched. Every time I saw them brush their teeth, I felt pride in knowing that they were brushing with my sweaty pits.
It's what she deserves.
Now, to be honest, was that the best thing to do? No, but in the moment I was so annoyed at their messes and their attitudes. Like, they would move my food around, and one of their boyfriends even drank one of my drinks and put his dirty undies on the bathroom floor for a whole 12 hours and didn't move them. So to be honest, I don't really regret it. Dirty hose. Fuck you, ho. It's the dirty hose for me. They said that they like no advice, and I don't think I need to give you any advice. This was just really funny to me. It was the Flappy Bird motion that killed me. Is there anything else you'd like to say? You're so pretty, and I pray that you get a man to spend money on you 24/7 because it's what you deserve. Mwah. Thank you, bestie. All right, besties, we've got another long one, so buckle in, strap in. This bestie says, I was with my wife for 6 years, married for 2. I thought I would spend the rest of my life with her. In 2001, I had an accident where I was paralyzed from the neck down and have some brain damage. My goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. Through the last 3 years, she stuck by my side. That's a good woman right there.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
And I'm grateful for that. But since my accident, I have been unable to be intimate with her. I'm not attracted to her since my accident. And I struggled with this for a long time. So I told her that I didn't love her anymore, but what I really meant was I left for her, but I wasn't in love with her. She worked out of town 4 hours away. After she heard this in 2023, she went online while she was away and accepted a picture of a fraudulent check to some guy's sugar mama. What? She deposited the money into our bank account and came home like nothing happened, but when she went to go to the bank a couple days later, I wanted to go with her because I don't get out of the house much, but she refused to take me with her, and I thought that was weird. When she came home, she was crying, and I found out what happened. We fought so much that our landlord almost kicked us out. So I told her that she had to leave. She said she would not leave, so I told her the only way this would work is if we date other people. I then got a girlfriend and she got a girlfriend. We ended up both breaking up with those girls, and then I started dating someone new and she started dating someone new. So I took her out of town and paid for the hotel for her to see her girlfriend and paid for her to go on a date, and it cost me about $500. Okay, this is very messy. That same week, when we got back, she went back out of town to work and lied to me and told me that she was going to sleep at 7, which I know she doesn't do, and I caught her on a date with a guy having sushi.
What?
So I kicked her out, packed up her stuff, and that was it. I feel like I'm very confused. I don't what was it that was the
2,000 years later.
That she lied to you? That was the problem? Because I don't know. It seemed like you guys were kind of living your own single, independent lives. The new person I started seeing is married and in a polyamorous relationship, but I'm also seeing another woman. The other woman, let's call her Katie, and the polyamorous girl, let's call her Amanda. So Katie, I really like her. I think I'm in love with her. I'm head over heels for her. She takes me out. She treats me good. She takes care of her mom. She's just amazing, but she won't put a label on anything. And it's pretty hard for me to be super affectionate or just normally affectionate because she's afraid I'm going to leave. So Amanda keeps calling me toxic because she doesn't talk to me for 3 days. And I'm like, you've ghosted me. What's going on? And she's like, that's toxic. You're toxic. And she never admits when she's wrong. But I'm so sick of being called toxic. I mean, I like her, but I just can't deal with her BS. So then it sounds like you've made your choice. I don't know whether to cut her off and just not talk to her anymore, ghost, and then I don't know whether to pursue Katie and hope she can give me the affection I'm looking for. I see Katie every weekend. The sex is bomb, but I haven't even went on a first date with Amanda, and I don't really know if I want to, or should I take my wife back? What should I do?
You have a dramatically outdated understanding of how the world works.
Be single. That's what I think you should do. Be single. If I'm keeping it a buck, they want advice, so I'm giving them advice. I don't think you need to be in a relationship with any of these women. I think that you like that Katie wants to take care of you and can provide for you, but you already said multiple times that she doesn't, one of your needs is not being met, and you're not even in an exclusive relationship. I would never enter into an exclusive relationship with somebody if my needs were not being met before the relationship started.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
They haven't shown me that they're capable of doing everything that I need a partner to do. So there's no point in being exclusive with them and then praying that maybe one day they'll do what I need them to do if they've already not shown me that they can do that. It sounds like there's a lot of trauma that has gone on in the past little while for you, and I don't think you need to be in a relationship. And then I feel like I'm also a little bit confused as to what the problem was with your wife. Do you feel like she cheated on you? Because you told her that this would only work if you guys saw other people and you weren't in love with her. So it just kind of sounded like you were roommates.
God, they were roommates.
So are you upset that she went out with somebody else and didn't tell you? Or are you upset that she lied about going out with somebody else? Or are you upset that she went out with a man? Like, I feel like I'm struggling to understand what the issue is with that made you cut off your wife only to immediately try and pursue 2 other people who are also not fulfilling you emotionally. Your emotional fulfillment is not there. That might take a lot of inner work to deal with that. It might not come from external sources. So I personally think that you should be single. I don't think you should take your wife back because you already said you don't love her. You're not in love with her. I don't think that you should be with Amanda. And I don't think that Katie is the person for you because your needs are not already being met. And when asked, is there anything else you'd like to say? She said, I don't know if I'm making a mistake because my wife stuck by my side. She's a caring person. And I kind of feel like her actions were a result of my words. Is that my fault? I think that she's an adult. She made her own decisions. I think She was absolutely hurt to hear that you were no longer attracted to her after an accident and after she kind of stuck beside you and was there for you. But that's what partners are supposed to do. It's in sickness and in health. I think you were the one who stated that the relationship was over. So while she moved on in a way that might not have made you feel good, she was coping with the situation. I'm not going to say that anything is your fault. I think everybody in the situation are grown-ups. But I think you in particular, you need to be single. You don't need to be with any of these women. Take some time for yourself. Discover what you like, what makes you feel good. Rediscover who you are and what brings you enjoyment and fulfillment outside of women. That's my advice from one bestie to another. All right, besties, and we are about to end the video off on a high note. This is one of the stories I did read all the way through before putting it in the video, and it's something special. For sure, it's something special.
Just as I thought.
So this bestie says, during a sophomore year football game, the bleachers were absolutely packed and everybody was standing on them. It was hot and sweaty and there was no room for personal space. Listen, I didn't expect it to happen, but it did.
Oh. All right.
While the band was playing, I needed to fart bad. So bad, it wasn't even one of those that you can hold in. So I let go. The first second, it was okay. Then the next, hell on earth. The silent smell wafted around half of the bleachers so bad, people literally rushed out of the bleachers to get away from the pungent odor. It was me. I ran out too. I couldn't be caught, obviously, and the people and friends next to me were coughing and had literal tears in their eyes. I played along too. No one knows it was me, and I laugh every time I think of it. Shit, I would laugh too. I'm literally taking that fart to the grave. They said they want advice. I have no advice. I have no advice. Next time someone pisses me off, I'm going to ask you for some tips on how you get that fart so nasty. Had people bringing tears to their eyes. That is crazy work. And when asked, is there anything else you'd like to say? They said, I love your videos. I've literally watched almost every Catfish episode or Help I'm in a Secret Relationship. Your opinions eat every time and I love you. Also, I'm not sorry. The fart of death is something crazy. Crazy. But this was a good confession. Thank you so much for submitting, bestie, and thank you for watching. But that brings us to the end of our second confessions video. If you would like to submit your confessions, you can find that link for the Google Doc down below. Everything is completely anonymous. I will never know who you are unless you tell me. You can submit your story with ease and hope that you make it into the next video. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted already. I love making these videos. I think it's fun. I think it breaks up the monotony of the reality TV shows, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you so very much for being here, y'all, and make sure to let me know what you think down in the comments. What is some advice that you would give to some of these people? But don't be too harsh. Don't be too crazy. Keep it cute. Keep it classy. Keep it demure. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're aware of every single time that I upload, okay? And I'll see y'all besties in the next video.